Welcome back for another helping of Oysters, Clams, and Cockles. I am Ross Bolen here today with my buddy, Mr. Barrett Dudley, as always, to bring you the best TV shows and movies weekly in an easily digestible podcast packed with laughs. Barrett, how are you doing on this weekend?
Well, it's a weekend.
It's Saturday.
It's a Saturday. It is also February 29th, the day that we won't have next year. You know, it's a leap day.
Oh my God, it's Leap Day.
That's right.
February 29th.
So now we can reveal the real reason why we're recording late in the week.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to record on a day that we...
Only comes once every 4 years.
Yeah.
Is it once every 4 years?
Once every 4 years, yes. That's right.
So it happened this year. It won't happen next year. It won't happen the year after that or the year after that.
That's right.
But
the
one after
the
that.
One after that. That's the
another
one.
February 29th.
That's the one.
Why don't we'll record today, and then we'll wait till the next one. And that's when we'll do our next episode.
Yeah,
and
that's
we'll
right.
only put out podcasts on leap days.
Yeah.
And have to find other ways to make money, though, probably.
Well, you know, that's the other thing is that we laugh, but it might be the next leap day where we do get to record again once the 65 million people are dead from coronavirus.
Yeah.
And that whole thing wraps up.
You and I were discussing whether or not we should record today wearing masks. And then we couldn't find any because of the shortage.
There's a shortage.
There's a shortage.
Yeah.
You're panicked in these streets, aren't you?
I'm a little bit panicked, yeah. I spent like a good 30 minutes last night just being like, this is not good. I was just sitting on the couch just really having like a good freak out.
Sure.
This is it's
scary.
It's pretty gnarly.
Look, we've watched too many movies and TV shows where shit like this goes down, and then it just keeps escalating, and then Matt Damon has to try to save the world.
That's exactly right.
Like, we've been there.
It's also like just the slow creep of it now in the United States.
Yeah, dude.
I almost wish that it would just happen.
How bad could it be?
Right, but now there's like one pops up in Solano County and then Santa Barbara, and now it's in Oregon, a community spread case.
Yeah.
And so it's just like they're not stopping it because they can't stop it.
That phrase, community spread.
Community spread, yeah.
I'm not cool with that. Not my community, man. No way.
So it's just like, it's just a matter of time. Oh, don't forget, we're about to let in 300,000 randos in 2 weeks for South by Southwest. God knows
to
where
Austin, Texas.
Yes, God knows where they've all been.
No one knows.
So
not even God. Those people come from out of the gates of hell. South by, not my favorite.
So that you just have to think that festival is just gonna lay the smackdown. Like somebody's bringing it for sure, right?
I mean, aren't you kind of... listen, here's where I'm at. I don't want anybody to die, obviously, but that's going to happen. People are dying every day, all right? Just being real. I root for chaos with these type of situations because of the content. I'm team content at the end of the day.
Okay.
And if I'm picking between, the humans or team content and the coronavirus... It's not that hard of a choice for me. I'm picking team content in the coronavirus.
Oh, wow,
so
okay.
as this is going right now, I'm rooting for the old, the infirm, and the infants. I'm rooting for them all.
Okay.
But I feel pretty confident with my chances.
What
I'm saying?
Of not
This is a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode. Larry is not scared of coronavirus because he's rich.
Mm-hmm.
He's fine.
Yeah.
He's old. He might be infirm, but the money keeps Larry safe.
That's likely. But these viruses, man, they don't distinguish.
They're viral.
They go viral.
They do. In the air.
So,
I don't know what I'm not, listen, just for the record, I'm not actually rooting for the coronavirus to wipe us out entirely. But a small percentage of
it might
us.
take a good chunk. It really might.
Anyway, we're going to be discussing the Outsiders' 8th episode today. The one before the penultimate. The 10th season of Curb's...
The penultimate of the penultimate.
I know. The 10th season of Curb's 6th episode. And then we have a top 5 today that reveals, at least I have a bit of work to do. I'm not going to say who the top 5 is, but it just revealed to me that I was like, oh, shit.
Okay.
That's all I'll say for now. We'll slap and tickle tease. Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, as our fears with coronavirus stuff have been stoked by our viewing experiences in the past, we watch a lot of television. We watch a ton of movies here as part of the Clam fam, and we know that can be hard on your eyes, which leads us to our first sponsor. This episode of OCC is brought to you by Felix Gray glasses. I constantly have my face in a screen from morning to night, my computer screen, my television screen, my phone, my computer, like my gaming PC at home, like it literally is the entire day at this point. It's quite scary, and there's nothing I can do to cut back that time. And I've been wearing contacts since I was like 12 years old. I can't see shit without contacts or glasses in. By the end of the day, my eyes from wearing the contacts, from staring at all these screens, they're tired, they're dry, I get headaches, blurry vision, I have trouble sleeping, it sucks. But not since I've been wearing Felix Gray blue light glasses. Felix Gray launched in 2016 with a singular focus to offer the most effective computer glasses on the market with all the quality of brand name designer frames. They quickly became the internet's favorite blue light glasses. Felix Gray filters out 90% of high energy blue light, eliminates 99% of harsh glare coming from screens. That's the weirdest thing about throwing them on to me that I noticed back in several months ago, or actually in 2019 when I was first introduced to them. I didn't realize how much glare was on my living room television, for example. Like, I'm closing the shades and shit, but when I put on the Felix Grays, my TV view is so much more clear as a result of eliminating that glare, which is just something you might not realize. Just another added benefit. Unlike other brands who use cheap blue light coatings that are ineffective, they can chip, they can scratch, Felix Gray uses a proprietary blue light technology embedded directly into the lens. Available in prescription, non-prescription. They have readers. Got you covered no matter what. Optical glasses for work. They got these sleep glasses that you can wear in the evening. They're clinically proven to increase melatonin secretion when worn leading up to bedtime. Science.
People generally like bedtime secretions, so
Yes.
that's good.
And a good melatonin hit.
Right.
Why would you buy glasses from a company whose sole focus isn't making glasses? I trust Felix Gray because they make the best blue light glasses in the game. Go to felixgrayglasses.com/OCC and get a pair of blue light glasses from the pros. Shipping and returns are totally free. That's FELIXGRAY glasses.com/OCC. felixgrayglasses.com/OCC. Go today. Support the pod. Get yourself some blue light destroying glasses. Let's talk about what's available from this month on the wonderful patreon.com/oysters, clams, cockles, where you can support this podcast financially in exchange for more content, more OCC, more episodes, more podcasts, ad-free. No advertisements on patreon.com/oysters, clams, cockles. The idea being that you support the show, help Barrett and I continue to do this for a living, and in exchange, you get more. In February, we started the month out hot. Out the gate. We covered the Academy Awards, the Oscars.
That's right.
Did a little recap and review, loved it, had a ton of fun. Whether or not you missed those or you watched them, doesn't really matter. The hour, incredibly enjoyable.
Toast of the town.
It was, indeed. We did hotline calls for all to tease y'all, with the general populace of those of you in the Crustacean Nation and Mollusk Militia, because, of course, the last thing that comes out each month is the hotline call extravaganza just for the Mollusk Militia, which we are recording immediately after this episode, actually. We also did our throwback movie club for Casino Royale.
Ah, that was a good one.
In advance of the new James Bond movie, what is it, No Time to Die, coming soon?
To Die, I think that's right. Yeah.
The title still is, I'm not my fave.
You know, I don't hate the title. My issue with it is that it's kind of difficult to remember because it sounds so much like other Bond films and just is like a jumble of the same like phrasing and words with death and time and no and other things.
Yes.
So it's just like...
It's too many other Bond movies made into one.
Yeah. And so I keep having a hard time kind of like remembering exactly what it was called.
At least 4 movies have come out in our lifetime with very similar names.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't know what.
Yeah, they should have just gone like off the wall, like called it something like, you know,
Fuck Mountain.
James Bond 007, like, you know, Spider Chopper or something like that.
But how do we keep the prudes out? We don't let them in.
Yeah, I keep seeing Jeffrey Wright and stuff, like random television commercials, Westworld 3 trailer. And now I can think of his him as Felix.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, man, you got to keep it cool. We'll stake you. That's what I'm saying. I work for the CI and the A, if you know what I mean.
Okay, his character is a little campy, isn't it? Like in Casino Royale in particular.
Just play it cool, man.
He's like, I've got you. Yeah, you're doing a good one. That's a good. It's like a weird. He's got to be so subtle.
Yeah.
And doesn't he have a no? James has the knife.
He's gonna go try to stab Le Chiffre. Yeah.
And Jeffrey Wright's just so chill with it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll stake you. You don't have to stab him. We've got you. $5 million. Isn't it $5 million? He just like hands him.
£5 million. Yeah.
You know what I was thinking about when that happened? I was like, that's where our tax money goes. Our government takes it and they give it to international super spies from other governments to allow them to compete in poker tournaments.
Totally accurate. Yeah, that's exactly what. Yeah.
So stop complaining, folks. That's where it goes.
Right. Yeah.
To a good cause. All right, you ready to talk about The Outsider? Anyway, patreon.com/Oysters, Clams, Cockles. Support OCC. Get more. Ad-free. The Outsider, Season 1, Episode 8, was titled Foxhead. Now, this is the first time I've actually processed that. Is it because of the heads?
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's wearing a...
Was it a fox?
Cuco is wearing a fox mask. Yeah.
The little boy was a bear, right?
A bear, yeah. I didn't stop to think about it being a fox mask.
Neither did I. But now
I'm...
Yep. Okay, see?
Now it's computing.
Yeah, it's a fox in the henhouse situation.
I just remembered, he's wearing a scary demon animal mask, basically.
Why didn't they put the boy in a hen mask? What does a hen mask look like?
Let the boy watch.
Let the boy watch.
But yeah, Foxhead.
Yeah, oh, so the gang is going to hang with Claude to keep him safe and establish an alibi for the crimes that we all expect El Cuco to cause him, or to commit in his name, right? El Cuco is becoming Claude. Claude is the strip club guy.
Yeah, that's right.
We've been waiting for Claude to start to turn.
Mm-hmm.
And what's just explained to us at the beginning of this episode is that Holly Gibney has El Cuco like shook, right? He's sort of on the run. He's running and like feeding at the same time to try to regain strength.
Yeah.
Which it's the most direct setup for an episode we've had yet on this show. Like where you sort of get like okay, here's exactly what's happening. We're going to be going to Tennessee. Mm-hmm. We're going to be keeping Claude safe while El Cuco's off trying to do his thing. And we're going to try to entrap him so that we can prove once and for all, not only that he exists or it, but that, that there's a way to fight this thing.
That's right. The plan, it all goes swimmingly well.
It does, right? That's exactly how it all unfolds.
Yeah, no, I think I liked this episode so much because they give us a lot here. They show us El Cuco in a stage of transformation.
What a move, by the way.
They show us like what he needs to do as he's like gaining strength, which is kill randos and
use them,
viciously eat them.
The crunching noises.
Man. They got him good. Whoa. They really did that.
Yeah.
They show us like they just give us a lot. Like he is a physical presence. He can walk in somewhere and try to steal a child.
He's in the back of dude's car.
Right.
He's got tats on his knuckles. What did that say?
Well, those are Claude's tats.
Oh, so it was just to show us that he had been. So like as I'm watching and he's sitting there, Jack is. Well, first of all, let's just, can we start pulling at stuff?
Yeah.
Because I have some questions. Okay. Like, okay, so let's start there. Jack Hoskins, he's doing big work the whole episode to keep El Cuco, keep his munchies at bay, basically. El Cuco keeps being like, I'm hungry. And Jack's like, I just fucking murdered someone and fed him to you, bro. I even sat 8 feet away while you ate him. You need more food?
He was full of cancer.
Well, doesn't have to worry about that anymore. That was a great line. Jack,
also gross, though.
Yeah, but
just like, I don't know, it was weird. It was so nasty.
Eating cancer?
Yeah, to think about.
He consumed
cancer.
A guy riddled with cancer and was like, no, that wasn't good food. I need more.
Yeah.
And Jack's just like, fuck. By the way, every actor and actress in this show is doing next level shit, but Jack's character in particular, because there's like a level of solemn, like, he's alone with this thing. Mm-hmm. And it's constantly digging its claws into him further, keeping its claws in him. Like, the moments where he shows it exerting its power over him, when he's in the car, it says, like, I'm fucking hungry, bro. And he's basically like, dude, I just fed you. And the thing kind of is like, you know what, enough conversation, and sort of takes control. Mm-hmm. And he's like, Ew, and starts driving. There's like those moments that he just gives a lot of, he's done a great job of making El Cuco more real to me. By the way he reacts to it in his scenes with it. But
yeah, you also get like a good idea of why the net guys also go out, and like our previous net guy like basically goes suicide by cop.
Yep.
Because it's like, once you know about this thing, once it's ridden in the backseat of your car, once you've killed for it and watched and listened to it like eat like,
what are you gonna do?
You can't take that shit.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? There's nowhere to go after that. Yeah, it's fucked. The question I had about Jack, I did not follow when Ralph is explaining Jack and he's like, one time we had drinks and this dude blacked out and told me all about his life or whatever. And he said that he was like trained as a sniper. I didn't understand how that story made him an easy target for El Cuco. He's basically like, he went through all this training, he did all this stuff, he became a sniper, and then Holly's like, no, and Ralph's like, yeah. And I was like, wait, what? What happened? Did he fail the last sniper test? They shipped him off to Alaska, right?
So I think it was just adding to like the severe level of grief and kind of loss that this guy was already dealing with.
Just life disappointment.
Life has just torn this guy down and never given him anything good.
Hasn't gone the way he wanted.
With his family, with his one thing that he wanted to be, he gets all the way and then fails the psych test. So not only is he like emotionally weak already, but then that causes him to like lose the one thing that he wants to do in life.
Yeah.
And then gets shipped off to Alaska to live like this futile existence in solitude and yeah.
There you go though. I would say the main thing is that he was going through all this to get to a place, and then the psych test showed that he had, like a mental health thing, or he was clearly susceptible to this type of El Cuco-ness.
Yes.
And no, that's great. Thank you. That makes it work in my head now.
Or even just, maybe they sensed, like we've kind of seen this. He's been a gruff guy all along, but when we watch him in some of those, like in the early episodes where he's going hunting or whatever, or where he's in the strip club and like ready to just like pop off,
he's
and,
just
like,
brooding,
fight anybody, like that factors in too, right? Like you can't have a sniper that's just a loose cannon. Right. Like they have to be extremely calm and level-headed,
in control,
and yeah.
Yes. No, you're absolutely right. That's a great answer. And so El Cuco is forcing Jack to drive him out to where Claude is going, right? Claude doesn't know, but he senses what's happening. He feels somebody trying to get into his house, into his head.
Yeah.
Right. He's like, fuck this, I'm out. He goes to Cecil, Tennessee, which, by the way, I don't think actually exists. And
I thought you were about to tell us that you've been to Cecil, Tennessee before.
No, absolutely.
Which, by the way, I've been there. Spent a few nights there. Great town.
I'm going to go ahead and give up my review of Cecil, Tennessee, and the bed and breakfast I stayed in on 3rd Street.
But did you get Worst Fest vibes from this little little carnival thing?
Yeah, for sure. For Cave Con or whatever this thing was. This thing
whole squad going spelunking.
Yeah, I loved how they ripped on it too. The grandpa's like, this fucking sucks. We've been doing this for way too long. And she's like, the kids love it. And he's like, the kids don't.
Was that grandparents? Or was that supposed to be parents?
I thought it was parents. Everything I've read said grandparents.
Okay.
So it must have been in the credits or whatever described correctly.
Okay.
Before I forget,
because he did look too old to be the son's
They're
dad.
so young, right? Yeah. But I wasn't really thinking about that when I was watching. I'm 90% sure the giant obese man in this episode, the grandpa, is the giant obese father from the scene in the movie In Bruges, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, starring Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson. But where Colin Farrell and then Brendan Gleeson both tell these Americans they're too fat to fit in this tower. Like, excuse me, no, your lot don't want to be going up there. And he's like, fuck you, motherfucker. It's because they're fat and it's funny. I'm 90% sure that's the same guy. And it was one of those moments where I was like, I don't get how they do these casting calls. Like, they're like, we need a super fat guy. And then there's like 4 good obese actors who come in and are like, all right, which one of us is it going to be?
Yeah.
This dude just happened to win this role.
Yeah.
Good acting job.
I'm pretty sure you got it. For these very specific roles like that,
it's like 4 dudes in Hollywood.
They know they know what they're looking for. They know the visual that they want, and they probably like, a casting director's like, oh, well, there's that one guy who was in that movie, and then somebody else.
I worked with this dude.
I worked with this dude, and so there's 2, and then maybe you like give a casting. You throw it out to some agents, be like, anybody else you got that you think would be a fit, kind of matches this look. And then maybe they send you 5 or 6 more actors. And then you read, and then so 7 dudes are reading, and then you pick one.
And the In Bruges guy got it.
And the
yeah.
That's my guess anyway.
Oh, Eunice, which is the name of one of the cops. The cop riding with the guy who is into Holly. Andy. Andy's into Holly.
Yeah.
Eunice is riding with Andy.
He's the GBI. He's
GBI.
on the, which I believe I think that's a real thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Georgia
you know
Bureau
how I know it's a real
Investigation?
thing? Podcasts. one of those true crime shows, they said GBI 1,000 times.
Okay.
Why don't we have a TBI?
We must have something else. Like that must be like we have like Texas Rangers. That's got to be like that's
Our version of that?
Uh-huh.
Weird. Anyway, when Eunice is giving Andy a hard time, telling him like Holly can walk into a room and tell you when everybody in that room is going to die. If the people who are close to dying, when their time is nigh. And she's like, she'll look at you, and then it's almost like she has to look away, and then she'll reach out to you, but then no, she has to reach back. And Andy's like, fuck. He hasn't done anything like that with you, has she? It was just a great little scene. Yeah. So one of the threads, sort of the thing that they used to tie this episode together, which I guess I'm going to call them threads in our lives that they pull at. So, like, we have a couple different examples of, we got Ralph in the car telling Holly the story about the time his mother passed away when he was going to get her this record to play, right? Mm-hmm. And then he hears that song 15 years later in the car talking to his mom about his son. And then we have, what is the other cop's name? Alec? Yes. Alec goes in and tells the lawyer guy,
oh, right.
You know, I feel like I should have gone or whatever, but I had this feeling, just like I did before I used to go out for deployment in Iraq where I tasted pennies, and I was like, nah. So these little things and these feelings and like inklings and like Claude feels like they're getting in his head, and like there was this level of creepiness to this episode.
That's a good point.
Didn't exist before.
It's all very mental for everybody. Like it's in your head.
Yeah. And we finally get a moment.
Or you just have like this like external or internal sense about something.
Yes. Or you'll have these moments where things hit you and you'll be like, oh shit. It's like Ralph tells Holly the story and she says, sounds like a coincidence.
Right.
That's the feeling. Is this a coincidence or is this like some really spooky timing shit? Like, which just sounds like what I would describe a coincidence as. But no, it was just like that thing they put in, that element they inserted into this episode just gave it this more cohesive feel or whatever. Made it even better. So another thing that we got in this episode that really took it to like another level, Ralph's doubts that we've sort of been like, come on, bro. You know, for the last 4 episodes, basically, finally start to like shift. He tells her, look, you got to let me come at this at my own pace. He tells Holly. That's what I've been trying to do. He says he's been trying to approach it, that he's been trying to make sense of it. He's trying to get it to fit somewhere in his head that works for him. And she's like, well, fucking do it faster because there's a time crunch here, bro. People are going to die.
Right.
Of course, by the end of the episode, when it is completely proven that Holly's theories are all correct, when Claude, the Cuco version of Claude Cuco, attempts to snatch this boy from the cave con thing, and they get video footage, pictures are taken, and they were clearly with Claude all night, we finally see Ralph accept.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, shit, this is real.
That's another thing that this episode did. It's like, not only is it showing us El Cuco, but then it's like, okay, now, if this situation were real, you'd be all in at this point.
Yes.
You'd be like, okay.
This is what would break you right here.
And they do. And they let Ralph say, okay, yes, this is happening.
Seeing his character.
Like they stayed true to like a real life narrative. And I appreciate that instead of like having Ralph still be like, well, what about if it's this though? You know?
Coming up with another reason to not believe. Yeah. Which I've got to hope, we didn't give him too much time at the end of the episode, is not something that he tries to do next week. But I don't think it will be. I think we're done. The next time on The Outsider makes it look very much like this penultimate is going to be us going into the cave, which there are some concerns tied to that because of It, particularly It Chapter 2.
Yeah.
And what happens down in those caves. Now, like I saw a joke, one of our listeners that I retweeted said it's going to suck when The Outsider ends with everyone down there in that cave yelling insults at El Cuco. Because that's literally
You're just a mean old demon.
That's how It ended.
Yeah.
He's like, stop it. You're all mean. I'm going back down into another layer of my sewer. Shit, dude, what about Georgie? Georgie got eaten.
Yeah.
Pop. All right. To talk about we see visuals of El Cuco. The whole season we've gone without seeing this thing, right? Well, other than its hooded figure with the very shadowy face or whatever. But we're seeing it actively feeding.
Mm-hmm.
First, we hear it in the scene with Jack in the woods after he snipes the poor fisherman, and El Cuco is just over there feasting. There's no there's no changing of the mouth. Once he's in the human form, and it's like the face is the thing still taking shape. He's eating with the mouth like a normal mouth, but just like tearing into, like it's disgusting.
Yeah.
The noises were very, very gross. But the next time he's feeding, we get like we see dude, and he's taking Claude's form. You can kind of see it still. We're shadowy version of him, but it's Claude.
Talking about the end of the episode.
Like when he's in the cave feeding.
Yeah.
And then he like throws a hand or something at Jack.
Yeah, he's eating a deer.
Yeah, he's eating the deer. What, like, dude, Jack is really doing a good job of getting you all this food, and you're still a prick to him, like throwing a deer hoof at his head or something when you're done feasting.
So one thing interesting that I kind of gleaned from like a recap is that is El Cuco. He's feeding, right? He's feeding on all this different stuff.
He feeds.
But it's just building to him needing to feed on a young child.
That's what it seems.
Right?
It's always these kids.
Like, so do these net guys, do they keep trying to satiate him with like deers and random hunters and shit like that before eventually he just like takes the reins and he's like, no, it needs to be a young child so that I can exploit the grief after and the aftermath of what happens when an innocent kid dies.
The feeding in between is all about getting the strength to fully form the person he's doppelganging and then killing a small child to then cause the grief cycle to restart so that he can feed and suck up all the grief or the sadness or whatever, the grief eater. That's the gist of it. It's a pretty cool concept. In terms of like Stephen King setups, I fully understand this one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like you don't have to explain it to me again. I've pretty much got the gist of the basics of it. That's not always the case with his shit. Like I've said, I read an entire book, a whole book he wrote, and I didn't know what happened, like at all. I know there was like a dude he had a gun. He was a gunslinger. That's all I know. Whole fucking book read. Dude, so yes, obviously this season could have been shorter, right? We could have done 2, maybe even 3 episodes less. But at this point, especially after what they accomplished with the penultimate to the penultimate, it's not worth talking about anymore. It's just they clearly wanted more.
Yeah, and they got it back on track for me in this episode.
That's all that matters to me.
And so it's like, so that's all I was looking for at that point because we're not changing the number of episodes that exist.
It's too late.
So
But
all we could do is like hope that they got it back to in an exciting way.
Yeah.
And are set up for a very exciting finish, which it appears that they are.
They are. And I think, obviously, we need to stick the landing here. Important to stick the landing, especially next week. I'm pretty nervous about the cave situation, but we got 2 more to have this unfold in a pleasing way. I don't know. There's like the thing with penultimate episodes like this, and with HBO in particular, is they tend to. It's always like how all in, how much of their wad are they going to blow in 9 versus 10. Often what we see is 9 is like the all down drag out fight, the explosion, the climax, and then 10's sort of like putting the pieces back together and setting up for the next season or something like that. So it'll be interesting to see basically, do we get our showdown with El Cuco tomorrow, literally? It's Saturday right now. Tomorrow. Or is it going to be in the finale? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Either way, I'm stoked. That's the questions I have in my head now.
Yeah. I don't have a good guess for you, actually.
Yeah, neither do I. No.
But yeah.
We got there, though.
Cuco is also, is it going to play in... Is it going to factor in that Cuco, we see his face, and it is Claude's, but like not all the way Claude's? So like, does that give more?
We see him eat more after that, though.
Does that give more credence to the case?
To
like help other people believe, understand what is happening here? Like,
so
see this really
great question.
See this dude's face. It's not really Claude. Because he didn't wait till he was fully transformed to do this, right?
Yeah, I don't think that. Okay, I don't think the pictures of Claude will help serve the public in any way. It was just to help our people, and in particular, like Ralph probably needed that. They're gonna have to. That's a great question, though. Will this be handled publicly, or is this gonna be like, I'm guessing, more our squad here, this team of what is it, 7-ish people that we've got trying to solve this thing. They're gonna have to keep it to themselves, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
You don't defeat El Cuco and then go out and explain it to the New York Times, and then everybody in the country's like, "Oh, wild!
Yeah.
They found a demon,
Yeah.
and defeated it.
Yeah.
Crazy story." No. You got to keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
And then you come back in 20 years and do it all over again as an older person.
What's
the Stephen King way.
Any thoughts on Claude's brother, that old pot smoking hillbilly?
Great character.
Why was he taking photo of Ralph?
Because he's trash and weird and high. I love that explanation. He was like, had a lot of police in this house over the years, but never one sleeping over. Just thought I'd mark the occasion or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
I like this character. I didn't think there was. What they've set him up to do is sacrifice himself for his brother.
Mm.
That's basically the feel I got. Like, this dude is a psychotic badass who has been through a lot of shit and does not care. He also sells weed and does not care in front of the police, which is some next level cocky shit. Like, the cop asked him to put out a joint and he asked him if he wanted to hit.
Okay, and then also another question after this episode. Where are you now on thinking that Ralph factors in to any of the conclusion?
I'm thinking that Ralph, obviously as the biggest skeptic and doubter, will face the toughest challenges. Now, I keep comparing it to It, but it's because there are some very easy things to compare to. Mm-hmm. The way the clown Pennywise works in It, and he uses the fears of each person to try to break them, basically. El Cuco has the best. Ralph is going to be the biggest challenge for the good guys, right? The same reason Holly explains to him. If you don't believe in this thing, if you're not capable of seeing it, you can't fight it. Same thing his wife, Ralph's wife, very concerned at the beginning of the episode. You can't go. You don't believe. You're a fucking problem. You're a detriment to the squad.
But don't you think he does believe now?
Yes, and what I'm saying is he's going to be in the when they fight this thing and they're trying to defeat it, I imagine it's going to come down to Ralph and his challenges internally. Because he has been the one who has refused to accept this until literally they've showed him irrefutable evidence.
Sure.
And he's the one that we've seen how El Cuco could fuck with him, right? We know his story. We know about his son. We've even seen his son appear to him and speak to him. Only once, though, right? You got to imagine that comes back into play. That this thing is going to use the darkness in Ralph, what he has been through to attempt to, I don't know, turn him, whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. Use it against him. That's
yeah.
Do you think that there is any chance that El Cuco in this monster form is even catchable?
That's the thing that will have to come. They'll have to come up with something good here and that's the problem we faced with It. It's at the end of it. When you're destroying this entity, how does it go down? Do you chop its head off? Does it just fucking and like disappear?
Right.
Does it go down into a sewer? What's the move?
Yeah, and I think a difference between the two is that with It is very much. I think between the two, Pennywise and It is a more like. It's like a different entity than something that we experience in real life. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense. It's like an actual demon thing. We know that it's like tortured this one town. It actually kills and like steals children.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Flip side, Outsider, this is all very metaphorical, right? El Cuco and the explanation for him by all of like the past cultures, right? By all of the ancient cultures up until modern religions.
I mean, they do that shit with Pennywise too, though.
It's like something that we're aware of, where we know the boogeyman. We're looking for an explanation for why bad things happen and why people are sad and why families get torn apart.
Yes.
So the whole thing is it's like a little bit more metaphorical.
It's more based in reality to me.
Yeah. Like
Not this is a scary clown that lives
El
in the
Cuco
sewer.
is like grief personified.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I understand what you're saying.
So
but he
it's kinda
does
like-
use all that same type of shit. Like, that's for sure his go-to.
So it wouldn't. If you kill it, if you get rid of it, then what are you saying? Like,
That's
that
the
doesn't
thing.
exist in the world anymore?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? That's the problem. Is that it's a different space. It's like you've I don't know though. They did a good enough job in this episode. To me, it is almost a little bit the flip of that. Like Pennywise, this demon thing, that it really doesn't need more explanation than that, look, it's torturing this fucking town and it's just an evil ass entity. Whereas El Cuco is legitimately like a demon on Earth going around sowing pain and suffering and feeding off of it. And that's a more like just like a concrete idea that I can look at and fuck with. Yeah. It's just that's dude, how they tie this up is everything, right? That's, I mean, with every show, but this one in particular, it's just such a tough thing to decide at the end. As a writer, as a creator, the dudes who are doing the show, you make a million hard decisions. There are people saying that this episode made this whole show better than the book already, that it took it above and beyond. The way the book wasn't able to close, which is another reason I'm sort of looking at these last couple episodes like, okay, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Fuck yes, come on. Because the book's close apparently wasn't that strong. But we're right there, man. I'm excited.
On the cusp.
On the cusp. Tomorrow, I watched it, by the way. I watched it just last night. And at night. And I had sort of gotten the vibe from Twitter over the week that it was a particularly scary episode.
Yeah.
But I was not mentally prepared in the dark to handle El Cuco.
It was good. It was definitely probably like the scariest it's been, I would say.
I thought all around it was the best episode of the show. I mean, like episode 1 or 2 were good, you know. But this was like, I mean, this was great TV to me.
They did just enough of, you know, people talk about this with the horror genre a lot. It's like, what's scarier? Like what you can see, what we're going to show you, how scary can we make what you see versus like
what you can't see.
The scariness is in the fact that you don't know or you can't see everything.
Yeah, it's the
so
the grandma doing the fucking spider walk versus Paranormal Activity. There is nothing.
Right.
Like what's scarier? They're both pretty goddamn scary.
So they found like a nice like in between here.
Yeah.
Where that we got some visuals of the monster, but like not all the way. We didn't really get like a true solid look.
We're not watching
picture.
it eat from like an angle where we can see everything. When we
Exactly.
finally even do see it taking bites, it's like the camera comes up over its head and
So it was good.
Yeah.
They pulled that off well.
They crushed this whole episode. Ready to move on to Curb?
Yeah, let's curb it up.
2 more episodes of The Outsider, folks. Strap in. Today's episode of OCC is also brought to you by Quip, makers of the Quip electric toothbrush, and they want you to know the one single discovery that matters most for your dental care. It is simply this, that if you have good habits, you are good. That means brushing for 2 minutes twice a day, flossing regularly, no matter what brand you use. Quip makes that simple, starting with an electric toothbrush, refillable floss, and anti-cavity toothpaste. I've been using Quip for a few years. They've been incredible, long-standing supporters of OCC and the Clam fam. Greatest toothbrush in the world. My favorite feature is that it has this built-in timer with 30-second pulses to guide a full and even clean so that every time you finish brushing, you literally feel like you've left the dentist. It's incredible. Their Quip floss dispenser comes with pre-marked string to help you use just enough so you're not sitting there ripping out 7 feet of floss. Plus, you know how your toothbrush gets like old and gross? And it wears down. It's a toothbrush.
I sure do.
Yeah. So they deliver fresh brush heads, floss, and toothpaste refills to your door every 3 months with free shipping, so your routine is always right. Just when you're noticing your brush maybe wearing down a bit, boom, comes a new brush head in the mail with toothpaste and floss. It's awesome. Join over 3 million healthy mouths. Get Quip today, starting at $25. And if you go to getquip.com/dragon right now, you'll get your first refill free. Free. That's your first refill free at getquip.com/dragon, getquip.com/dragon. Quip, the good habits company.
Ross, before we jump into Curb Your Enthusiasm,
Yeah.
can I just regale you quickly
Regale me.
with a little insight into the newest Homeland season?
Oh, for the love of God, please.
Okay, so I think that there are 3 episodes out now. I've only watched the first one.
Okay. And this is season what?
This is
7?
8?
8?
9? Something like that.
I'll Google it.
It's the last one.
For
And-
sure?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is 8.
It's coming to a close. And it's still running in its highest gear. And at this point, I think the showrunners are just leaning into the fact that this is simultaneously one of the best and one of the worst shows on television.
At the same time.
At the same time. They
Okay.
can't and they can't run away from that anymore. And I think that they're just kind of owning it in this season
They're going to lean into it?
because look, they are stuck with Carrie. You're not going to end the season on a season. You're not going to end the series on a season that doesn't have Carrie.
She's got to be the main character, yeah.
She has to be the main character.
Yeah.
And
you're too
Saul
deep.
also has to be there. And Saul also has to stupidly still believe in Carrie, all of which is happening in the first episode. So,
Which just if you've never watched Homeland, Carrie, it's like she's the worst mother and cop ever. And her boss, basically Saul, as she makes horrific, life-destroying mistakes season after season after season after season after season, Saul's always got her back, though. Saul will always prop Carrie up when push comes to shove and send her out on another mission to fuck that mission up.
yeah. She's a squirrel that always seems to find the nut, but in the process of finding that nut, she's one of those squirrels in Houston that is just absolutely like terrorizing people
Just psychotic.
and just off the wall, like destroying shit and making horrible decisions.
Regular squirrel goes to the tree, picks up the nut, crawls down to the ground, buries the nut, comes back later to eat it. Carrie is up in the tree, ripping acorns out and throwing them down at people while she makes that cry face.
Yeah. So, okay. So let me just tell you what's happened. At the very end of the previous season, she gives herself up to save an asset that the U.S. needs in the fight against Russian like cyber and counterterrorism.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
So she gets taken as a prisoner by the Russians,
Okay.
where they torture her by not giving her her meds.
That doesn't. Okay.
So she goes into
Not very nice.
So she goes into full psychosis, and just insane.
Damn.
And so at the end of last season, they're finally able to make a prisoner switch, and so Carrie gets brought back to the U.S. in exchange for some other prisoners.
Oh,
which
shit.
Saul helps orchestrate.
This is like full circle, bro, with
It is.
Brody.
It is a little bit.
Wow.
And she's been there for like 6 months. She's just a complete head case, like
wow.
off the rails, crazy. Hadn't had her meds in forever.
I like the setup.
This season starts, and she is still in like a recovery ward.
Okay.
She's almost back to full strength, but she's getting there, and Saul needs her for a mission, and it's a little too soon for her to really like go back out in the field.
Is there no one else?
There's nobody else. She's the only woman for this job. And as you said, this is where it's coming full circle, which is an interesting idea.
Love that.
Because
They should have done it 4 seasons ago, but love that.
there are concerns that while imprisoned,
She may have been flipped.
she gave up valuable information.
Mm.
So not all the way to where
Not
she's like
all the way
a
full
Russian
circle.
sleeper cell,
Got it.
but that she was coerced or, used, gave up critical information, and she might not even know that she did.
Yeah, because she was obviously off her meds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here would be an idea. Not giving Carrie critical information.
So she's signed away the rights to her daughter. That's how they've gotten rid of that one.
Thank God.
Yeah. She's get her out of here.
So if you're listening, back in like season 2, they were like, oh fuck, how tight if we gave her this child of this other character that we're gonna kill off, and then the next season they very clearly were like, we've made a huge mistake.
Yeah. Job Bluth, I've made a huge tiny mistake.
Yeah, they could not figure out what to do with this kid. They kept having her like put it in imminent danger
Oh yeah.
over and over.
This show after season 1, maybe I'll give it a pass for season 2. But in every season post season 2, it has jumped the shark at least one time per season.
Which is amazing. It's an amazing feat to do it over and over and over like this
You're
is
just
crazy.
Like, okay, no, this is where they've jumped the shark, and
Yeah.
it just kept happening. But the ultimate one was last season when she comes within inches of backing a car over her daughter.
That's not even like spy shit. That's just regular dumbassery.
Yeah. So anyway, so we've still got.
I'll never forget the scene where they're like, the whole episode's like, Carrie, you can't do this thing. And then she's like, I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
I brought this up over and over.
This is already happening in episode 1, by the way.
And then she goes and does it. And then like, they have to try to like snipe her to stop her from doing. Her own squad is like, I think we have to snipe Carrie.
Yeah.
And then this whole scene. Anyway.
So episode 1, we get Carrie's. She goes over to the Middle East where they're trying to work some stuff. They're working for peace in the Middle East. They want U.S. extraction, but is that what the U.S. really wants? Like yada yada.
Okay.
And
she's like mentally insane over there. By the way,
it's once again immediately tapping into the reason why I do love this show is because I don't think I've ever watched a show that does geopolitics this well
with relevancy like this too.
Yeah, but like the scenes where like Saul is back channeling with people from Pakistan, and they're working with like the Iranians, and like they're just like inject that shit into my veins because they don't show this type of stuff on any other television show.
Right.
This like what I feel like, and whether it's true or not, is an authentic way.
Like the way this shit would go down for real.
It's always so sensationalized and like dramatized for your network TV shows where this type of stuff typically goes down.
And it's the type of thing that we don't get like full-blown news reporting on most of the time because there's all these weird back channels and intricacies to the whole system like you're speaking to.
Yeah.
And that sort of international sort of coalition feel to it, right? Of like guys trying to stop the bad guys. Mm-hmm. But also who's good and who's bad.
Yeah.
That's the whole show.
So it's I'm absolutely all the way in for this last season. And I just had to report that Carrie is still here doing her awful thing, and the show is also still really fun to watch.
I'll be honest with you. The explanation that you just gave, I'm dangerously close to considering watching the final season of Homeland, which is not something I ever thought I would say, man.
I'll report back after I get caught up on like 3 episodes.
I'm not gonna watch it, but I'm just saying I feel like I could.
Yeah.
And more importantly, I'm just excited to hear you talk about it each week.
Yeah.
We're going to need updates on this.
Okay.
All right, jump to Curb.
Yes.
Curb Your Enthusiasm, Season 10, Episode 6. The Surprise Party, I think it's called. Oh, God. There were a few scenes in this one where I lost my shit.
Okay.
The dog, him Heil Hitlering the German Shepherd to get it to sit and to not attack him was like a spit take moment for me where I was like, that's fucking...
Oh, dude, I'm an idiot. I did not even put the pieces together that it was a German Shepherd until right this second.
Yeah, it's a German Shepherd, which the Nazis historically used.
I'm a fool.
Yeah, and by the way, Pirate Steve from Dodgeball
That's right.
plays the inventor. I don't think I've seen Pirate Steve since Dodgeball. Aged very well, Pirate Steve. Good for you, Pirate Steve. But yeah, he ends up being a white supremacist inventor. For some reason, he's part of a storm chasing unit, which is tight. Also, Leon was like explaining how you'll never catch black people chasing storms. That's like a white person thing, and that was hilarious. Leon actually wants to get put in touch with Pirate Steve because he has a lot of ideas for inventions that he thinks he could get made, like pussy tea. It's all the taste of pussy without the commitment. Dude, Leon is the funniest motherfucker on the show. I mean, they hit so many good things here, man. Okay, so like, Susie is trying to throw a surprise party for Jeff, but Jeff has a heart condition, and Larry's concerned that Susie might actually be trying to murder Jeff. Finally, she's going to take him out. This is her time. She's going to murder him. So he approaches her, where most people would never bring this up. Larry actually broaches the subject. And it becomes this whole thing. Next thing you know, they've dragged the cardiologist into it. The cardiologist is just trying to like use this as an excuse to get to the party. Chris Martin of Coldplay is somehow involved.
Rusty!
Why is that so funny? I don't even fucking know. It's just Larry David doing anything at this point.
Yeah.
My dad called me Rusty, or still does sometimes, but like my whole childhood because of the vacation movies, kid was named Rusty, and my name's Ross, and I don't know. You know what? That's as far as the explanation ever went. I was like, this isn't the same name, though, Dad. You know that, right? Sure, they both start with R. I don't go around calling you Barry. Or like fucking Brent. The hell was he calling me Rusty for? Like 25 years of this shit.
It's a nickname.
It's not my nickname. I get that it's a nickname, but it's not my nickname. Anyway, oh, God. Larry, we also get back into the handicap placard stuff, which...
Could have called you Peaches.
Could have called me
one
Peaches.
day you eat too many peaches and then
just throw up.
You throw up.
Peaches for the rest of your fucking life. Yeah, the handicap placard jokes, which is like, had to have been at least one episode of Seinfeld, at least 40 different stand-up bits from different comedians over the years. Everybody's made jokes about the handicap placards.
Yeah. That mostly all landed to me because Fred Armisen
is incredible. He brought in... Great thing about this episode, and really this season so far, the features have been phenomenal. Vince Vaughn is great.
Yes.
Love his character.
Very subtle Vince Vaughn flex in these episodes.
So do you think Larry pulls people that he's fans of? So like, do you think you watched Portlandia and was like, this motherfucker is hilarious, I want to work with him? How do you think this plays?
I think that...
Like, is he at a party and he ends up hanging?
I think with the comedians that get brought in, they have relationships with Larry through one thing or another.
Well, what about, like, Chris Hansen? Or not Chris Hansen. Chris Martin. The Coldplay guy.
So, for Chris Martin, or Clive Owen, or Isla Fisher, or Vince Vaughn, those I'm not totally sure how those happen.
Because I'm wondering if it's like... Chris Martin of Coldplay, one of the more famous people in the world, watches Curb and loves it and is like, man, I'd really love to get on Curb one day. And it's like because it could be a million things. It could be like he has his agent literally reach out to HBO and be like, if there's ever an opportunity. It could be like he's at a party and him and Larry David have a conversation and he's like, I really love Seinfeld. And Larry's like, I love Viva la Vida or whatever the fuck that single was. And then they're like, I'm going to put you in an episode.
I feel like that's probably...
More likely, right?
More likely is that Larry is an LA fixture. Obviously, still a very big star in Los Angeles.
Yes. And one of the more recognizable people, probably.
Knows a ton of people. And he, like... I think a lot of the celebrities are people that Larry has made friendships with or established friendships with.
That's the feeling I get.
And then
because that's the case with the cast,
I've
for
got
sure.
this idea, would you want to be a Curb episode?
Yeah. Because that's for sure the case with the cast, right? Like all these cast members he's built, they're clearly people he knows, people he has relationships with, Richard Lewis, Ted Danson, yada yada. This was another good one though. This was not a miss for me. This episode was very much a hit. There was enough shit. There was so much packed into it, dude. Him using the waiting room to wait between appointments, even though he's not scheduled for an appointment that day. And then the receptionist being like Smoke.
Did you notice who that was?
Who? No, but she looked so familiar. Who was it?
Rebecca Romaine.
There's another like little cameo or big cameo. She hasn't done anything in a really long time, huh? That's who that was.
Formerly Rebecca Romaine Stamos, of course.
Wow.
But swimsuit.
Yeah.
Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue cover model. Multiple times, I think.
Unbelievable. So Larry's in there telling her, not everything's a hit. Not everybody's hitting on you just because you're the hot receptionist or whatever. Like him trying to delve into these little things is just like, it's sort of uncomfortable because he's just frankly too old to completely get it. Mm-hmm. It's not his fault. He's just not anywhere near our generation. And at the same time, there's like these little morsels of truth to the dumb shit he says.
Yeah.
From the wrong angle, but it makes it very, very funny and comical, and he's just such
the setup, all the things that you just mentioned are what makes it really like at the same time both cringeworthy and funny and semi-truthful. Like
And
it's
relatable,
all,
yeah.
It's all funny. Like that's
Yes.
just why it works, is because he's kind of like a singular voice that can kind of get away with this perspective.
Because his comedy at this point is almost like, I'm a dumbass and it's like a psychopath and I know it, but it's hilarious. And like, this is just my shit. And here's the things I think are funny. Yeah, it's great, man. The show has really, I don't know if it's like taking things to another level this season, but I think it's consistently hitting in that higher place where what has made Curb over the years.
Yeah, I think, I just loved the idea of this episode that Susie is trying to kill Jeff. Like, that's
Phenomenal.
I think that anybody that's listening to this podcast can tell, you bring Susie in to like stir the pot.
Yeah.
And that's like, it's immediate comic gold, basically. Comedic gold.
She is so angry.
The outfits that they put on her as well.
Her fashion.
Just hilarious.
What does she scream at the cardiologist? She's like, what is his name? Oh, Rusty or
Rusty.
whatever. Rusty! She's like, don't you talk to Chris Martin. Get away from Chris Martin. Coldplay guy's just like, what the shit is this? Unreal.
I think it would probably fall 6 episodes so far. And I think I would put this in the bottom half.
Really?
As far as my favorites go.
I
don't think it made top 3.
It was. I think it was probably like, it was 2 or 3 for me so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
In this season. I really liked it for some reason. Like I was dying laughing. Rusty! Also, I love Mocha Joe's mom, Mocha Jane.
Mm-hmm.
Just ridiculous. Want to move on to a top 5?
Yeah. Last thing. I think one of the other. This could have been a reason that it didn't totally get into my top half of the season so far.
Okay.
And that is because Larry David is clearly not familiar with Yeti mugs.
No, he's not. Yeah,
needing an invention to keep coffee hot. For seriously, longer than you wish it would stay hot.
Right.
Has already been done by the stainless steel tumbler people.
Yes. Which is Vince Vaughn's like, you mean a thermos?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so they kind of laugh at it.
They kind of give it a little hint, yeah.
But he doesn't need you don't need the coffee cup warmer. You just need the cup that already exists that keeps your coffee way too hot.
For way too long.
And I guess that was also part of it, is that like when I get coffee in the morning, I pour it and I go shower because I can't drink it until 12 minutes later.
I have never had coffee handed to me or made for myself and then gone, this isn't hot enough.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
It's the opposite.
So that's also like, I guess like maybe like you get older and like you've burned all your taste buds off and your tongue is like all calloused and you just want like hot drink. Like, I don't know.
I've never cared about this. When my coffee gets cold, I'm still drinking it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I enjoy it more when it's hot, but not too hot.
Right.
I need it to cool down. I'm typically like you. I'll make my coffee and take a fucking shower.
Yeah.
Drink it after.
Whatever. Funny episode. Good stuff.
Always. The toilet invention and the women's toilet scene. Oh my God.
Also,
and then when he's like, did you consult women on this? He's like, no. Him and Vince Vaughn squatting backwards on the toilet, holding the bars, which, by the way, the whole no touching thing. We're all, what? No.
I almost thought he was going to yell no touching.
Oh, that would have been something else.
Because, of course I picked up on that.
That would have been something else.
I was like, it's pretty close.
Is this a prop? Is this like
a direct reference?
A little head nod here?
Yeah.
All right, let's do a top 5. You know who I've chosen?
No, I don't.
I've chosen Nicole Kidman.
Okay.
To do our top 5 of, because we haven't done an actress
in
a couple weeks, few weeks.
What put you onto Nicole?
So she's obviously had this like resurgence in her career, right? It started with Big Little Lies, I would argue.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
She's always been like an A-list woman in Hollywood, but she has sort of a strange. It's not something I really realized honestly until we started digging into it. She has a strange like IMDb page. If you're going through all of her movies, what I recognized here, and I'll start admitting to more and more as we go through her list of most famous films, is that I haven't seen a lot of these, and that was sort of like, look. Not everybody we do am I going to have seen all of their best work, obviously. Mm-hmm. So neither are you.
No.
But a lot of her best work is shit from not recent. I've seen all her recent good work. I have not seen a lot of it from when you and I were children. When it was her and Tom Cruise doing like movie after movie after movie after movie after movie together, which I didn't realize they did like 5 during the course of they were married, right?
Relationship, yeah, marriage, sure.
Sure, which is like a whole thing that makes her even more interesting to me. Anyone who was married to Tom Cruise at any point, that's got to be one of the most interesting people in the world. I need to know what's going on there at some point. Like, do you sign stuff? How many NDAs are there? Yeah, how all that works. She was for sure like one of the first people in Hollywood where you looked at her and Tom Cruise and you were pretty confident this was a business relationship. Like, at the end, at least. But, like, it benefited everybody pop culture-wise.
Yeah, very, very interesting. Like you said, I mean, maybe one day we'll get some type of tell-all from somebody.
Probably not, though.
Probably not.
Too many legal boundaries.
And also, like, this shit has been going on for 40 years now or whatever.
It's not new.
Or 30 years.
Yeah.
More like
Our
30.
whole life, bro. Yeah. Our whole lives.
And there really isn't all that much information about it.
Other than
we feel pretty certain that somebody like Katie Holmes signs a contract.
Yep.
And then is released from the contract after a certain duration of time, or can re-up it, or
at least
whatever.
Part of the contract. There's probably all that non-disclosure shit that goes forever.
Totally. Like you said, though, with Tom and Nicole, they adopted kids together. They
were building a family.
They starred in movies together before, like, that was clearly kind of like how their relationship started.
Right. That's what made it feel like it could have been manufactured, though, too.
You know, there was something there.
For sure. No, I feel that's the thing that's tough to like differentiate with the Hollywood stuff. Like, the greatest example in modern day is Kanye West and Kim Kardashian.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody on the planet outside of her and him and her mom knows what the hell is going on there. Is this a business relationship? Is this legit? Like, what the has everybody signed contracts?
Yeah,
like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
How do these people even communicate with each other? It's just it's dumbfounding.
Did you see that video of them making out on the elevator, though?
No.
Yeah.
Well, this is intriguing to me.
They were having a smooch. They got caught on camera.
No shit.
And
a
then
candid moment.
Yeah, and then Kanye gets he gets real kind of like, he notices the cameras as the elevator comes down, like it's transparent.
Okay.
And they're like kissing, and he like starts like he gets all that sheepishness
that
he does sometimes.
Yeah.
And he like immediately walks off the elevator and leaves Kim in there to pick up like 12 shopping bags
because he's just shook.
Because he's just shook. Yeah.
He's such an awkward human being.
Kim like grabs all the shopping bags.
I fucking love that guy, dude. I don't care how crazy he gets. I really don't. I'm serious. There's nothing he could do at this point that I would be less of a Kanye fan.
Yeah.
He's absurd.
So yeah.
So let's run through some of these, shall we?
Yeah, I'm now on her IMDb, and she really has had a resurgence. And for some reason, she's just not picking movies that I am personally invested in seeking out and watching.
Right.
Like, there are several movies in the last 10 years here that I would watch, but I just haven't. Like, I want to see Bombshell. Goldfinch was a colossal flop, but it sounded interesting.
She's hit a lot of flops.
I've not seen I've not seen any of the Aquaman movies.
Never gonna watch
I like
it.
Jason Momoa.
Golden Compass. Never gonna watch it.
Let's see.
Never gonna watch Aquaman. You're not gonna watch Aquaman.
The Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Sounds tight. It's my number 5 because it sounds tight.
Was supposed to be a really good movie that I never saw.
I heard that was unfucking real. I mean, it won a bunch of awards too. The people told just me that Lion was awesome. I'm the only one who knows. But I'm serious. That one I want to watch.
She's a voice in Paddington, which I hear those are great.
The
films.
Paddington Bear movies. Yeah, those are supposed to be good.
Yeah. Stoker.
It's in my top 5.
I think I saw that.
I saw Stoker.
Yeah.
Paperboy.
I think she gets peed on by Zac Efron or something in that one.
See? Why would I have not watched that?
Yeah.
But that's because they kind of float under the radar.
They do.
I'm going to run through some of her movies.
Did you notice that she plays Mrs. Coulter in The Golden Compass?
Ah, yeah. Liza. What is it? What are the kids' names?
Lyra.
And
Roger.
Billy Costa.
Billy Costa.
Okay, so the ones I haven't seen. Bombshell, which I still include in my top 5.
Okay.
Killing of a Sacred Deer. I still include in my top 5. And those are the only 2 I haven't seen in my top 5.
But you're putting them in your top 5.
Yeah, they both have to be in my top. Here's my top 5. Number 1, Eyes Wide Shut.
Okay.
One of my all-time favorite movies. Her and Tom Cruise. What is the name of the director whose name is slipping my mind at the moment? This is the most disrespectful. Kubrick. Love it. Stanley Kubrick. Great movie. Absolutely phenomenal. In part because she is just ridiculously hot, but also an incredible movie. That's my number 1, and it's not close. My number 2 is The Others. Do you remember this movie? It's a horror movie.
Yes, I do.
I have seen this 3 or 4 times, just sort of randomly. It came out in 2001. Now, it's not a great movie, but it's my number 2.
Okay.
Number 3 is Bombshell, even though I haven't seen it. Just because I assume. Number 4 is Stoker. I have seen it, but I assume it's not as good as Bombshell. Solid film. And then number 5, Killing of a Sacred Deer, because it sounds like it's probably tight as hell.
Okay.
And it seems like it would make my top 5. Now, I've seen The Beguiled, and it didn't make my top 5. It was just okay. I saw it in theaters. I've seen Days of Thunder, but I was like 10. It's just been too long.
Okay.
So I'm throwing other shit in there.
I gotcha.
I don't fucking know. Dogville, Bewitched. I haven't seen these films. The Paperboy, The Hours, To Die For, Rabbit Hole. Haven't seen any of them. You know what almost made my top 5? Batman Forever. Just because I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That's my top 5.
Isn't there one where she is with Will Ferrell? And,
Yeah.
She plays like the genie.
That would be Bewitched.
Bewitched.
It was the movie version of the childhood Nickelodeon Nick at Night show, Bewitched.
Yeah.
With the
right.
nose twinkling.
That's the one.
That hot genie.
Some others to throw out there. This is sad here. Just I really, it's hard to put together a top 5 here because
Very sad.
I've maybe like I'm sure I've seen more than 5 of these films.
See? Isn't this weird?
But really only about 5 that like stand out to me. So she is really great in Days of Thunder, which is a movie that I've seen more recently than you have. And it's just also like an awesome old school 90s movie.
Classic 90s
Robin's racing, baby. You know
Robin is racing. Yeah.
Robert Duvall, great. Tom Cruise, great. She's great. Good love interest in the story there. Stoker, I remember thinking was awesome. I can't remember exactly what happens, but I know there's like a bad dude who's maybe like he's messing with the daughter, with the mom.
Yeah, it's like the mom has a new boyfriend who's very questionable, and the daughter is super skeptical about what his intentions may or may not be.
That was a cool movie.
Creepy ass movie. Yeah. That could have been in my top 5. I should have bumped The Killing of a Sacred Deer and wait, no. It was in front of Killing of a Sacred Deer. Look at me, I'm a pro.
She has a small role that's a lot of fun in one of my favorite. Let's see. I guess like. Where do we draw? What's the delineating line in Adam Sandler's filmography? What do you put like? Where do you draw the line? Is it Waterboy?
Did you just say delineating?
Yeah.
I'm googling it. I don't know what the fuck that means.
Like career 1 and career 2 for Adam Sandler.
Describe or portray something precisely. Yeah. So for me, it's probably Little Nicky.
Is it Little Nicky in previous, and then. After post Little Nicky, somewhere in there.
That's where it broke for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
So yeah, we can say Little Nicky because I liked Little Nicky. I know that's like a questionable take, but I thought it was pretty funny.
I think it's like a 50-50 take at this point. I'm serious.
So in modern day Sandler, one of my favorite movies is Just Go With It.
Okay, haven't seen it.
It's him and Jennifer Aniston, who have great chemistry.
I watched that dumbass cruise movie they made.
Throw in Brooklyn Decker at the absolute height of her powers.
Oh, good God! Everybody remembers this trailer.
And this is a really I think it's a fun, easy movie to watch. Anyway, Nicole Kidman has a small role in this film. That's like one of these ones that's always fun to watch because you take a likable actor and put them in a really unlikable role.
Sure.
And that's that's her. She plays Devlin. And Just Go With It.
Love that.
So that stands out in my mind.
I'm just watching the GIF of Brooklyn Decker walking on the beach, and I got to be honest with you, this episode's over. I've just got that's it. There's nothing else inside my head that's gonna come out now. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all I have to add.
What year was this?
2011.
Good God. This is when Sandler was like, you know what? I can just cast whatever fucking A-list beauty I want in these things, man. Like, screw it. I'm going Jennifer Aniston and Brooklyn Decker.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the callbacks for this were like, the people around Sandler had to be like, Adam, this is very obvious what you're doing here. It's genius, but sir, people may notice.
So yeah, those are my only additions. At this point, I honestly, when I think Nicole Kidman, I'm thinking Big Little Lies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
I am looking forward to seeing if she can pick, or her agent, whoever, some real winners this next, like, 3-5 years.
I mean, I think
I need some good Kidman.
Again, I will say, though, like, there are movies in here that were Academy Award nominated movies.
That we just haven't seen.
The Hours, I'm pretty sure.
Was one, yeah.
Was one.
To Die For may have been one.
That we're just not paying attention to because they're not the type of thing that we are, like, wanting to watch, really.
And some of them were just before, like, some of them were things I'd be willing to watch or interested in now, but when they came out, I was too little or too young to really give a shit. So I'll have to go back and watch them, like Killing of a Sacred Deer or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Anyway, Nicole Kidman. Weird top 5. 2 movies I haven't seen.
She was, or how about, you ever heard of a movie called Rabbit Hole? She was nominated for an Oscar for it.
No, and it's one that if you go, like, top Nicole Kidman movies, you're going to see over and over and over on every list.
And
so it has to be good.
She won. But she won Best Actress for The Hours.
I don't even know what the fuck that is. Nicole
Moulin
Kidman.
Rouge. We didn't mention Moulin Rouge. She was also nominated for that.
Lady Marmalade. Remember that song? That was peak Christina Aguilera.
Mm-hmm.
Pre-Dirty, I think.
Ooh.
Was it?
No, I don't think so.
Dirty was a weird
Xtina?
vibe.
Let's do top 5 Xtina songs.
I mean, I don't want to admit to this, like, but I will. I watched that video with her in that boxing ring for the Dirty song like 20,000 times.
Oh,
probably.
It's a good video.
Most of the YouTube views on that counter are me. From the age of like
Golden
16 to 18.
Golden Globe nominations for The Paperboy, Birth, Cold Mountain.
Cold Mountain one we didn't mention.
That's what Renee Zellweger won for.
I'll put that at my number 6. Haven't seen it.
To Die For, 1995. Billy Bathgate, 1991. Literally never heard of that movie.
Don't know what that is. There are 3 or 4 Nicole Kidman movies that I have reminded myself exist as a result of this top 5 that I will now go out and watch.
Yeah.
And that is the gift that these top 5s give to all of us.
There it is.
Isn't it? Are you going to do a 5? Did you already?
No, I really just added to your. I'm like I said, like I can name about 5 of these movies that I recall with clarity.
Just guess what your number 7 would be. What would 7? Just guess. Just take a shot.
Cold Mountain.
Okay, there you go. Barrett's number 7 was Cold Mountain.
Cold Mountain's my number 1, actually.
It's my number 6, and I haven't seen it. It's your number 7. Now it's been moved to your number 1, and that will do it for today's episode of OCC. Huge thanks to our sponsors, Felix Gray and Quip, for supporting the show. You can also support us directly and receive so much more OCC each month ad-free at that by going to patreon.com/Oysters, Clams, Cockles. In February, we had our 2020 Oscars recap and review, hotline calls for all. We did our throwback movie club on Casino Royale. And of course, right after this, Barrett and I are recording our final Patreon episode for the month of February, the hotline call extravaganza, which will be available this evening, Saturday evening, for all of you in the Mollusk Militia to enjoy. Thank you for your continued support and making this podcast possible. Follow us on social media for updates on the best in TV and film that you can find on the whole of the internet. Instagram at Oysters, Clams, Cockles. Twitter at Clams and Cockles. And we're on Facebook.com/Oysters, Clams, Cockles. I'm Ross Bolen. You can follow me at WRBOLEN, at WRBolen on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. You can also hear my voice on the Ross Bolen podcast, available wherever you're listening to or watching OCC, and freeze all motor functions for when Westworld drops here in a few weeks. The number 1 Westworld podcast in the world, also a Bolen Media production. Freeze all motor functions, also available wherever you're listening to OCC. Barrett, where can we hear more of your voice and follow you on social medias?
Social medias at Barrett Dudley, Instagram and Twitter. And wherever you are listening to this podcast, go into that search bar, type in Club Cool.
Club Cool.
And then subscribe, like, review, listen.
My number 8.
Profit.
Rabbit Hole.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll give you my 9 and 10 next week.
Was Eyes Wide Shut your number one?
Yeah, it was. That's for real though. That's a real ranking.
That's another one that out of all the ones we've talked about, like Eyes Wide Shut is one that I need to go watch.
You haven't seen Eyes Wide
No.
Shut? Oh, you love it. You'll really like it.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tight. It's sexy enough to like give you like it's like a good Saturday night movie.
Okay, all right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's a good date night movie.
Okay.
Just get the blood going. All right, we're fucking out of here. Oh, thank you so much for listening. Thank y'all again for your patience this week, as Barrett and I had a weird schedule and had to wait till Saturday. What it was is we knew this episode of The Outsider was going to be so good that the more anticipation we could draw in by making y'all wait and the less sleep y'all got. I saw all your tweets. We need to hear you discuss The Outsider. It's been freaking me out for 4 days. We just wanted y'all to be suffering. That was the idea.
Leave you in great discomfort.
Now we are the grief eaters.
That's right.
Until our next helping. Adios, muchachos.